So setting tire pressure is a question I see often on all sorts of different platforms, whether it's a four-wheel drive forum, a camper van forum, Facebook forums, groups, questions, classic car forums. It's a question that I just see all the time, and you can't necessarily go off of what your sidewall is rated at. That's for max load of that tire, which you very often do not have the max load. You also cannot go off of the door sticker on the vehicle that you're driving, because most of the time you don't have the same brand, same size, or even the same style tires of what the vehicle originally came with, so you cannot go off that either. So this is the answer to how to properly set your air pressure for any tires that you have on any vehicle. So today we're going to look at the chalk test. So I bought my truck in 2012. It's a 2007 Toyota Tacoma, and it had a brand new set of BFG all-terrains. I called BF Goodrich because the sidewall says 80 psi and the door sticker says 29 psi. So I called BF Goodrich and I asked them, how do I set the tire pressure in this? And they said you need to do the chalk test. So this is what the chalk test is, how you do it, and how it has saved my tires. So as I was saying, these tires here were the ones that came on this truck. They were new when I got them. We're at 58,000 miles right now. You can see plenty of tread left. I mean, still quite a bit. These were the ones that were rated at 80 psi, and I found that on the front we run 44 and 38 on the rear. So 44 front, 38 rear, and it's different because the engines in the front are more weight. It's a pickup truck, less weight in the rear, so you have less air in the tire to keep that tire flat. But this is what I did when I first got these, is put the chalk on them, drive down the road, keep letting air pressure out until they wear evenly, and you can see they're very evenly worn all the way across. 57,000 miles on these tires, and they're still looking pretty good. So let's do the chalk test on our van. I'll show you how to do it. Okay, so these are an E-rated tire. They are rated to 80 psi, but I know that is not the right pressure to run in these. So what you need is a piece of sidewalk chalk, and what you do is you just draw all over the tire. You start out kind of high, so I have these set at 60 because I think even 60 is quite a bit higher than they need to be. And what you need is just a place that you can drive down the road straight without having to make any turns, kind of be out of people's way. We're going to chalk about a foot wide on this tire, and I'm going to do all four of them. And then what you do is look at the pattern of how the chalk is wearing on the tire. And what you want to do is keep lowering the tire pressure until you get a nice even wear from edge to edge, where it's even all the way across. So at high pressure, you're going to wear just the middle. At low pressure, you're going to be wearing your sides too much. So you start out high, and we'll see how this looks here in a minute. And then you just keep lowering your pressure until you get a nice even wear all the way across the tire. Okay, so this is driving about 100 yards or so, and you can see here on the outside of the tire there's still some chalk. I might have gone a little too far, so I'm going to redo it again, but it looks like we're just a little high in pressure. We've got a little bit of chalk in the outside, the center is clear, and then a little bit of chalk on the outside. So I'm going to lower the pressure by about 5 pounds, and we'll try it again. Okay, so now you can see here, this is what we ended up with. Nice even chalk missing from side to side. It's nice and even all the way across that whole tire. The wear is good. I started off the fronts, we're at like 70 because I just rotated the tires. These ones were on the rear and I was towing a trailer, so I had them up quite a bit higher. So moving them to the front, we brought them down to 52 psi before we had even wear from side to side. Then you can see the same thing on the rears here. All that's left is just a little bit of chalk right here on the sidewall, but it's even from where the tire tread starts all the way across side to side. And the rears we ended up, started about 60 psi and we ended at 50 psi. So that is the chalk test, and that's how I was explained to set my tire pressure from BF Goodrich when I had my BFG all-terrains on my pickup, and that's the way I set my tire pressure on all my vehicles now, and it seems to work very well.